Everybody needs a helping hand, and they're looking for that person to believe in them, which Dr. Hines did for me.
As an adolescent and going into adulthood, you don't really know what you care about. And what I learned from Dr. Hines is what to care about and who to care about.
I had to be the best student that I could possibly be. I had to strive for the absolute best. That is the way that she's impacted my life.
She was not only a principal, she was a teacher, she was a mentor, she was an advisor, and she held very high expectations for me. She demanded the best, not only for me, but from all the students at John Hope.
My motivation has always been to work with students in an urban environment, because I never felt that they were getting what some of the other students in other more affluent environments were getting. I felt students may not get what they need in order to be successful and be able to simply take care of themselves. So that was really my motivation.
Dr. Mahalia Hines started teaching in elementary school at 19 years old and later became a high school English teacher for 10 years. But she became dissatisfied with the administration of the Chicago public school system, so she left and went into the corporate world. She was a sales and marketing manager for Gillette and Liquid Paper for 10 years and also owned 3 daycare centers in Chicago. But after being encouraged to return to teaching and while updating her recertification, she decided to become a principal. In 1989, that's what she did. By the mid-1990s, her school, John Hope Elementary, became a high school. She personally encouraged many of the students to continue at John Hope and graduate from there. It was an inner-city urban school, and she knew she could help them accomplish great things if they just stayed with her.
I think many of our students went on to do great things, and I've never looked at them as not being able to. I looked at them and expected that from all of them. From grammar school all the way up. I was principal at elementary school for 7 years, and later I came over to Hope, which was a middle school at the time. And I love my kids so much, I did not want them to leave, so we went into a high school. During that time, I met Dominique. She was quite bright. I didn't know she was going into education at the time, but I'm very happy that now she is a teacher. This is also where I met Antavis. He was in the sports, but I always knew that he was very bright and that he could be more than just an athlete. Seeing him develop the way he did is also what's motivating me to continue. Candace was one of our brightest students. I had to talk her into staying in the high school though, because we were just starting the high school and she didn't really want to stay here. It's the same thing with Victoria. She was a shining star, and I definitely wanted her to stay here, and I was very happy. I could see the potential in all of them. I knew that they would go on to become successful in whatever they did.
Dr. LaTanja Williams is another example of Dr. Hines' mentoring. She received a bachelor's and a master's degree from Alcorn State University and a doctorate from Roosevelt University in Chicago. She met Dr. Hines when she began an administrative internship at John Hope. Dr. Hines was impressed with her and asked her to become her assistant principal.
When I first met Dr. Hines, I could really say that there was like an immediate connection. She was so genuine, very clear about her expectations and what needed to be done. Gave you a lot of autonomy, but definitely had high expectations for you achieving those goals.
One of the things that stood out for me with her was her passion. Her passion for the kids, her understanding. She was knowledgeable, but she really cared about the kids.
Her saying is, these are God's children. And you're going to have to pay for that somewhere on down the line if you don't do the right thing. And I think it was intrinsically in me all the time, but it focused me. And I have a low tolerance as a result, as she did, for people who do not take our children's lives seriously.
Now a principal with a school of her own, the influence Dr. Hines has had on her shows in her philosophy and goals.
I think if we neglect the fact that they come into a high school at a 6th grade reading level and we leave them there, that's an issue. All it takes is for us to be serious about educating our children and give them those fundamentals. They need to learn how to read, write, count, and think.
They need structure, but they need structure with love. They need high expectations, and they also need to feel that they can make it.
It's my goal every year, as was Dr. Hines, that we're going to graduate between 90–95% of our kids, and black males are on the top of our list.
Throughout her career, Dr. Mahalia Hines has influenced the minds of people. Her history as a member of the Chicago Board of Education is legendary, and her desire to see everyone whose life she has touched accomplish great things is a tribute to her character.
Dr. Hines is a tough act to follow. I don't even profess to be able to walk in her shoes. I'm honored to be mentioned in the same sentence, quite frankly. So I just want to say thanks to Dr. Hines. I just feel like if I've had any success at all in the principalship, it is because Dr. Hines has mentored me and has loved me as I do her, and just pushed me.